Okay, very good afternoon from Singapore. Welcome everybody to BizTalk. It's a great day to see you. It's slightly overcast in Singapore and there's light signs of rain. I hope you're all having a wonderful day back home in your countries, and welcome to BizTalk. Once again, for those of you who've just joined us for the first time, my name is Wally Rowder. I'm an Australian and it's my pleasure to present this session to you today. Session 91 in our BizTalk series. To those of you who've joined us for the first time, these sessions are basically provided to you as Kingston International College students free of charge, so you can learn extra business disciplines. And for each BizTalk or leadership series session that you attend, for the full session, provided your camera is switched on and you participate in the class, you will get a certificate that you've completed this training, which you can add on your resumes as additional training courses attended in the subject that you attend. For example, today is artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is a subject that a lot of companies want their staff to learn and can open doors for you moving forward. To all of you, welcome to today's session. Can everybody wave to me so I know that you can hear me? Come on, big wave to Ollie, please. Lovely, fantastic. Hello, LL. Hello, honey. Honey, Mahai. Hello, how are you? Janine, wave to me, Janine. Can you hear me? Good stuff, Janine. Excellent. Well, today we're going to talk about a very, very important subject, which is basically taking over the world and taking jobs away in some industries. And it's known as AI. Yes, A for Alpha, I for India, AI, which is the short name for artificial intelligence. And you're probably all saying to us, well, what is it? Don't know what it means. It's just computer language. Believe me, it's not. It's something that everybody in this world should be focused on. Because if you don't do your job and give your employer the level of productivity that he or she expects, he will soon replace you with artificial intelligence. And that's a fact of life. You all know that, right? Wave your hands, please. Come on, wave your hands. It's reality. We shouldn't hide from it, Anna, Maurice. If you don't do your job and give your employer the best, eventually he doesn't need you. He will save on your salary and replace it by artificial intelligence and keep the salary as profit. You all need to wake up. It's a fact of life. So let's talk about what is artificial intelligence? What is artificial intelligence? Okay, we're going to now look at what is artificial intelligence. Okay, can everybody see my screen? All right, let me just share my screen with you. One moment, please. Okay, great. Can everybody see my screen now? Can you put your hands up if you can see my screen, everyone? Come on, everybody put their hands up for me. Come on, wave your hands. Good, excellent. So today, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what is artificial intelligence. Who can tell me? Who wants to be first to tell me? What is artificial intelligence? Simon, unmute your microphone. Simon, welcome to BizTalk. What is artificial intelligence, Simon? Are you there, Simon? Simon Chimba, would you like to talk to me? Okay, no? All right, let's go to somebody else. Okay, Raklimi Estacoda, would you like to say hello? What is artificial intelligence? Can you tell me? Unmute your microphone. Go ahead. Hi, what's artificial intelligence? Go ahead. Welcome to the session, Raklim. What's artificial intelligence to you? What does it mean?
Computer-generated intelligence.
I can't hear you. Can you speak up? You need to speak louder. I can barely hear you, Raklim. What is artificial intelligence to you?
It's a computer-generated intelligence.
I can't hear you, Raklim. You need to speak up. You need to speak louder and look at the camera. What is artificial intelligence?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, go ahead. What is artificial intelligence?
Computer-generated intelligence.
Very good. You're on the right track. Thank you, Raklim. I'll talk to you shortly. Good girl. Okay. All right. Let's go to someone else. Keep your camera on, Raklim. Mary Lou Torino, Mariam Alkali, you need to switch on your video cameras, please. Thank you. Jenlyn, hi, Jenlyn. Tell me, what's artificial intelligence?
Hello.
Hi, Jenlyn.
Hello. Intelligent process by the machine.
Very good. You're on the right track.
Especial for computer system.
Good. Good girl. Excellent. Thank you so much. Good stuff. Okay, we've got two people with the right answer. Let's see if we can get more information I'm looking for. What about you, Michelle? Michelle Magiao, can you tell me, what do you think artificial intelligence is? Beautiful. Can you unmute your microphone? Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, Sir Wally. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, ma'am. What is artificial intelligence to you?
All right. Well, artificial intelligence or AI, it is the intelligence of machines, or we can say computer, that opposed to the intelligence of living beings such as humans.
Very good. That's the word I was looking for. Living beings. Very good.
Yes.
Excellent. Can you give me an example of an industry that uses artificial intelligence, Michelle? Go ahead.
Like for example, what do you call this one? Like Google search, if
Okay,
I'm correct.
you're right. Yeah, Google search
Yeah.
has artificial intelligence at the back end. Absolutely. What else? Can you give me something that you use every day? You go, what else?
YouTube, and then
Yeah.
Netflix.
Right. Do you have an Apple? You have an iPhone?
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
I do have
You
one.
know that Apple has this girl that you can talk to, right? You know about her? All right.
Yes, sir.
She is artificial intelligence. You know that? She's not a real
Theory.
girl. You cannot
Yeah.
talk to her at Apple. She doesn't exist. She's just a machine. You're talking to a machine. Very good. Excellent. Good girl. Okay, I'll talk to you again. Good girl. All right, let's go on. Okay. Simon, would you like to contribute? What is artificial intelligence, Simon? Simon Chimba, you need to talk to me, mate. You've put your hand up. Okay, great. So, hi, Melba. Hello, Melba. How are you? Would you like to talk to me, Melba? Go ahead. Good afternoon. What is artificial intelligence, Melba?
Yes, it's a computer system.
Yeah.
It's a perform task normally requiring to human intelligence, and most is the translation between language.
You're on the right track. Thank you very much. Good girl. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. I've got one more. Regine, hi. Would you like to talk to me? Go ahead. What is artificial intelligence? Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. What is artificial intelligence?
It's like a computer system that able to perform a task and require human intelligence and have like such as like visual perceptions, speech recognition,
Very good.
decision
Excellent.
making,
Yeah, absolutely. You're
and
very good. Excellent. Very good.
translation between language. Yeah.
Okay, good,
Thank you,
good girl. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay, guys, let us go on and talk about what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, is the intelligence of a machine or software as opposed to the intelligence of a living human being or Homo sapien. Okay, all living beings are Homo sapiens. We're living beings. But artificial intelligence is the intelligence of a machine or a mechanical form of structure or object that is not human, is not a Homo sapien, is not human. That is artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, the ability of digital or computer-controlled robots to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings, tasks that were previously done by man or woman or a living species, a living person, are artificial intelligence. Now, whether you like it or not, in everyday life, you're already fighting artificial intelligence. Amazon relies on artificial intelligence because they can do without 5,000 employees, save 5,000 salaries by having a machine do the job of 4,000 staff. Every time you deal with Amazon, 95% of your transaction is handled by artificial intelligence or robots. Only 4.5% to 5% has a human hand or human touch or human thought go into it. That is what artificial intelligence is doing to the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start talking about the difference of artificial intelligence and machine learning and what impact they have on different industry, including you, a person who's trying to grow their career in today's business world. Let's first understand, what do we mean by the word intelligence? Intelligence is the ability to learn, gain knowledge, and put that knowledge into practice. That is intelligence. For example, Mariam, when she was born, first learned how to crawl. When she learned how to crawl, she learned how to try to stand up. When she learned how to stand up, she tried to walk. She fell down. She kept standing up. Eventually, she started running. That is human intelligence that you learn when you're born. For those of you who drive a car, when you first sat in a car, you had a driving instructor teach you how to drive. And for 2 or 3 weeks, you were scared to go out on the road. And then came the wicked test of trying to back into a parking space or park the car, parallel parking. You thought you could never do it. Eventually, you kept practicing and you learned. That is human intelligence. All right, so artificial intelligence is something that a machine learns from the human that tries to do something, but it learns from human intelligence and gets the knowledge through different processes, so it can take that duty or that role off the human element. Intelligence has been defined in many ways, ladies and gentlemen. It's the capacity for abstraction. It's the capacity to use logic. It's the capacity to understand. It's the capacity to practice self-awareness. It's the capacity to learn. It's the capacity to have emotion. You're able to reason, to plan, to be creative, to think critically, and to solve problems. All of that is part of intelligence. And when artificial intelligence tries to do what the human brain does, it needs to use all of that creativity, reasoning, logic, problem solving, and to some extent, a sense of logic in decision making. So let's talk about the 9 types of intelligence that human beings have. Let's start from the green one at the top. Interpersonal intelligence, communicating with others and reading their mind or understanding them. Bodily kinesthetic coordination between the mind and the body. Linguistic, using a language in the form of writing and or speaking. Interpersonal intelligence, the ability to understand your inner self and to be able to think for yourself. Natural is about connecting and understanding nature and what is surrounding you and being able to distinguish your emotions from your feelings, or your feelings and your emotions from reality. The spatial state of intelligence, experiencing the world in 3 dimensions: the real dimension, the complete dimension, and a dimension that you can't see, the spatial dimensions. And the musical dimension, recognizing sound, being able to recognizing different pitches and being able to tell from the different pitch of sound how that person is feeling or what they're trying to communicate with you, whether they're happy, sad, crying, emotional, or laughing. All of that comes into that. All right, so mathematical logic. Mathematical and logical intelligence is one of the most critical elements of intelligence used by machines today in artificial intelligence. And what we call existential intelligence, which is the introspective ability to ask questions, analyze questions, and understand the reason for the existence of the answers and the question. So would everybody agree with me here that all the 9 elements of intelligence are some things that you practice every day? Would you all agree with that? Okay, let me talk to someone. Let's talk to someone. Every time you go to the supermarket, you use those elements of intelligence. Every time Jenilyn goes to the supermarket and walks around the supermarket, her interpersonal intelligence comes up when she communicates with the supermarket staff. Her linguistic intelligence comes up. Her interpersonal intelligence is used. Michelle, you need to switch on your camera. And her ability to use logic and mathematical logic in finding out how much she has to spend on grocery comes up. It comes up every day, right? Nice, Michelle. Very good. All right. So even when Michelle goes out clubbing with her friends, she uses the 9 elements of intelligence, right, Michelle? Come on. Am I right or wrong? Wave your hand, Michelle. Wave your hand. Wave your hand. Good girl. Excellent, Michelle. Good. All right. Okay. So when Sam Le goes to work every day, he in actual fact integrates the 9 elements or 9 types of intelligence. Every time Sam goes to work, he invokes his existential intelligence, his mathematical and logical intelligence, his spatial intelligence, his interpersonal intelligence, and his linguistic intelligence. He does that every day at work, because if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have a job, because he wouldn't be able to communicate with people. Do you agree with that, Sam? Wave your hand, Sam. Wave your hand, Sam. Can you hear me, Sam Le? Hi, Sam. Say hello to me. Open your microphone. You're asleep. Say hello to me. Hi,
Hello.
Sam. Do you
Hello.
agree with... Hi, I'm good, mate. How are you? Talk to me, Sam. How are you? Are you there, Sam?
Can you
How are
hear me?
you? Yeah, I can hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Do you understand what I mean by the 9 elements or types of intelligence?
Elements, musical or interpersonal.
All right. Do you understand what I mean by intelligence, human intelligence? Yes, Sam? You're using intelligence. You're able to talk. You're able to think. Human intelligence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm use intelligence interpersonal or musical.
Very
Yeah.
good. Excellent. Thank you, Sam. All right. So all the 9 elements of intelligence are things that you use every day. Hi, Mariam. Go ahead. Mariam, would you like to talk to me, Mariam? Hi, Mariam.
Sir?
Yeah. Hi, Mariam. Would you
Hi,
agree
sir.
that you use the 9 types of intelligence every day?
Yes, agreed.
Thank you very much, Mariam. Okay, let's go on, everyone. So what is the naturalist intelligence, nature smart? The ability to discern your surroundings. So when Mariam goes to the shopping center, she's able to distinguish from the meat department to the veg department. So usually people with high level of perception and knowledge and application of nature, such as sensitivity, to be able to distinguish between different items, different surrounding, different tastes, different results, and different conditions are naturalist intelligence, nature smart. Okay, so basically people who work outside, hunters, gardeners, and farmers have to be nature intelligent for them to run their business. They have to understand the effects of rain on the farm, what the bad weather could do to the cows, what the bad weather will do to the sheep, what will happen if there's no rain to water the plants, what will happen to their crop. Such intelligence usually makes great landscapes. Geologists, farms, and marine biologists actually are very good when it comes to being nature smart. So artificial intelligence that's deployed to run chicken farms, to run large agricultural plants, also has to be naturalist smart. The other sense of intelligence we spoke about, guys, is what we call musical intelligence. So what do we mean by musical intelligence? Musical intelligence is having an extreme understanding of different levels of pitch, noise, sound, and music. Okay, and this is something that usually the average ear can hear rock music and sing along with it. But can the average ear hear what instruments are playing? For example, if you go to a concert, do you know what musical instruments her band are playing when she's singing? You don't, because your mind usually only focuses on the words that come out of Madonna's mouth. It's the same. If one of you girls goes out with your boyfriend and your boyfriend sings you a love song, the only words you usually hear is "I love you." Do you hear all the riffraff and all the other words he uses? No, because you're so focused and in tune to hearing the word "I love you." So somebody who's musically intelligent is somebody who's used to listening to music and can focus on the minor details, whether the instruments are in tune, whether the guitar is out of tune, whether the pitch of the music is correct. This is musical intelligence. That's why today when you go to a nightclub, you don't have a person play the music. The music is all stored in a computer, and all the person in the control room does is hit the start button, and then at the end of the night, he ends the end button. All the music played in nightclubs is controlled by a programmed artificial intelligence that plays one song after the other. And the artificial intelligence can detect how excited the crowd is and can move from one song to another without human interference. Artificial intelligence. It has what we call music smart sensitivity. One can easily miss certain sounds. As I said, if you go out with your girlfriend, Riddell, and your girlfriend says, "I love you," you hear that. But any other small words she says along the way, you might not be musical sensitive to listen to or hear. Do you understand what I mean, Riddell? Can you wave your hand, Riddell? Good man. Okay, let's go on. In other words, artificial intelligence can have a better ear to distinguish sound, tone, and the words being said than the human ear. Artificial intelligence can do it a lot better. Then we have logical and mathematical intelligence, number reasoning smart. Logical reason, I should go out with my boyfriend. No, I shouldn't. I should stay home. Logic. Why don't I go out with my boyfriend? Because mum told me I have to be home at 6 tonight. I'm only 17. I have to listen to my mum. If I don't apply logic and know the difference whether to listen to my mum or my boyfriend and still go out with my boyfriend, then basically you're not basing your decision on logic. You're basing your decision on emotion. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if a captain of a flight, a plane, based his decision on logic rather than navigation systems? Can you imagine if the captain decides to take a different route or speed the flight, the consequences that all the passengers could die? That's why airlines let computers do all the calculations and fly the plane on autopilot, because the human brain may not be as articulate as the computer brain. The computer is a machine. It doesn't have any emotions. It doesn't feel tired. It can't make mistakes. So its mathematical calculations and its logical assumptions will be based on the data in the machine. There's no room for error. But the human brain can be inflicted by emotions and may take shortcuts or not be able to make accurate calculations. So what I'd like to do now, guys, is I'd like to basically stop the presentation now, and I'd like you guys to tell me, do you all understand what I mean by what I've said to you so far? Everybody understand? Yes or no? Put your hands up. Come on, everyone. Okay, let's go on. All right, so let's go to the next type of intelligence. The next type of intelligence is existential intelligence. What does this mean? It means having the ability to understand the reason for human existence, the intelligence of being able to maintain your health, breathe fresh air, and do what you need to stay alive. That takes existential intelligence. having the ability for human existence. The intelligence gives those with the perception on larger questions of existence, such as why should we live? What do we need to do to be healthy? What happens if we die? Meaning of life. Some people might not understand that because they're emotionally hurt. Computers follow fact. They can't make those mistakes. Can everybody understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, good. So let's switch it off. Can everybody tell me, do you all understand the first three abilities of intelligence? Who can give me an example of you using your mathematical or logical intelligence every day? Who can give me an example? Who would like to try first? Go ahead. Who wants to go first? Okay, let's talk to Mariam. Go ahead, Mariam. Can you give me the first example? Yes, Mariam, go ahead. Can you unmute your microphone?
Yes, sir, a good example is listening to you, communicating with you is an intelligence.
Okay, give me an example of mathematical and logical intelligence that you would use on a daily basis.
Logical example of intelligence is like, for instance, yes,
All right.
as what you told us, between mother and girlfriend. So you don't
Okay.
want, yes, you don't want anyone among them to know that you are communicating with.
You're using your logic to make sure you deliver the right message.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
got you.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
way.
Thank you,
Mathematical
Mariam.
is, yes.
Yeah, go on. Mathematical is?
Mathematical is,
Okay, when you go to the supermarket, Mariam, you put groceries in the basket. Do you usually try to keep track of how much they're going to cost so you can pay for them? Is that mathematical intelligence?
yes.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. So let's go on. So basically, you heard one example there. Who can give me another example? Relima Wallo. Hello, Relima. Nice to see you again, mate. How are you? Can you unmute your microphone? Say hello to me, mate. Hi.
I'm good, sir.
Tell me, how do you use mathematical and logical intelligence in your daily life?
Basically, on the weekly basis, I do sales. So when customers place their orders and the quantities, I try to times the price by the quantity, and I get the figure. So that's how I use my
So can you
mathematical
tell me what would happen to you if you undercut costs and didn't use mathematical logic with a customer? Would your boss be happy?
No, he's not going to be happy. He's going to tell me that we have made a loss.
Yeah, okay. Good on you, mate. That's a very good example. Thank you, Alima. Okay, let's go to the next person. Let's talk to the beautiful, I've got two here. Who should I go first? Who was first? I think Sheena was first. Hi, Sheena. Open your microphone. Sheena, tell me. Give me an example of how you would use mathematical or logical intelligence in your daily life.
Logical, I'm working now as a caregiver here in Hong Kong. So my logic is every morning to check my patients and then get through on their medical assessment, what my patients needs. And for the mathematical.
So what happened if you didn't use logic and giving them the medication at the right time? What are the consequences?
Consequences is my patients will be the recovery of my patients will be on a slow pace.
Okay,
and
good.
They will not get their right. If I don't use the mathematical logic or mathematical intelligence, I might give them the wrong dosage of the medicine.
And you can put their life in danger, right?
Harmful. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. And later on today, we're going to look at a video of how artificial intelligence is taking over the medical industry. So you'll be able to get some information from that. Does anybody else want to give me any examples of intelligence in their job? Put your hands up. Come on. Don't be shy. Sherry, can you give me an example, Sherry? Sherry, Aileen? Can you give me an example, Sherry? Go ahead.
Hi, good evening.
Give me an
Usually I'm
example.
a domestic helper here in Singapore. Usually, an example for me, maybe my schedule.
Yes.
I usually wake up by 5:30 because the kids should be ready by 6:15 or 6:45.
Right.
Depends on the timing. So I have
So,
to manage the minutes or my timing and cooking and preparing everything.
so if you don't follow a logical schedule based on time and minutes, it means you're going to be late for work and you'll have a problem. Is that right?
Yeah.
Very
At
good,
least you'll be
Sherry.
late also.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Roland Clavel. Hi, would you like to share your example with me? Go ahead, Roland. Are you there, Roland? You need to actually be there, Roland, for me to talk to you. Go ahead, Roland.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm
What's
here.
your example?
Good day. One of the example is the Google Map. It's
Well,
very important for me for traveling on a daily basis. Like,
Well, Google Map is
uh,
driven by artificial intelligence, yes. And Google Map
yes,
uses different elements of artificial intelligence. And you know that Google Map is still learning. Every day, Google Map, the machine that drives Google Map, is learning. New roads are added, new buildings are added, and people tell the machine that. And Google Map is learning every day through the machine learning system in its satellite that actually makes Google Map what it is today. Thank you for sharing that example. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. Let's talk to Nixon. Hi, Nixon. Welcome back, buddy. How are you, Nixon? Can you unmute your microphone, Nixon? Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
Nixon.
good morning, Wallace.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's actually morning
It's
in my
nearly.
country.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Good morning.
It's
Is it a nice
okay, yes.
day in your country?
Yes, it's just in the morning, just after 9 a.m.
Okay. Good, excellent. Mate, tell me,
Yes.
what can you share about intelligence? Go ahead.
Okay, intelligence from my end as an IT manager in my office can say problem solving,
Right.
where every day I have to resolve computer problems, network problems. So like by troubleshooting and also trying to find amicable ways of how my employees able to work efficiently with the internet.
So how does artificial intelligence help you to do that? Can artificial intelligence usually tell you where the problems are so you can be proactive, or does it usually have you go digging for them? How does artificial intelligence help you?
Artificial intelligence help me in the way like I have a system, a Fortinet system where
Yes.
it detects where the problem lies. Sometimes it send me an email if if one of my staff is maybe like consuming more bandwidth, I receive
Yeah.
an email telling me that okay, XYZ computer is consuming more bandwidth. So I
Right.
have to go and adjust the bandwidth and that.
So
So
you
that's why
basically, it
artificial
provides you a
intelligence.
dashboard and makes your job easier. Is that right?
Definitely, yes,
Very
definitely,
good,
definitely.
Nixon. Can I ask you, how much more difficult would your job be if you didn't have artificial intelligence? What would that mean to you?
It would be like a hectic day for my entire career.
You'd be running from
Because
one
if
desk
if
to
if
another.
one desk to another, because one you have to troubleshoot the problem by going to
Right.
one desk from another, try to know which of the computer that is consuming more bandwidth. By the time you get to know that, you're already adjusted.
All right, got you. Thank you, Nixon. It's good to talk to you. I'll come back to you shortly. Thank you, mate. All right, thank you, guys. So let's go on. I have another hand gone up. Yes, Sam, what's your question, Sam? Go ahead. Quickly, Sam.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
in social media,
Yeah.
and now I'm using ChatGPT to writing content. Yes.
Good. Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct. Good. Excellent. Thank you, Sam. Very good, Sam. Very good. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on and I'll come back to more people shortly. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so we've spoken about existential intelligence, and we've said basically that existential intelligence and what it means. And you all just shared with me how different elements of intelligence can affect your daily role. Let's talk about the other elements of the 9 types of intelligence. Okay. Let's talk about this one first. One information on such topic has been understood. Usually a decision maker, a researcher, can use that data to try to rectify a problem or practice speaking on what they learned through existential intelligence. Okay, so this is something that provides the person with a perception to think on a wider scale or deeper scale. Do you think a doctor needs to have existential intelligence? Yes, because he has to take your diagnosis, what you're complaining about, okay, and your symptoms, and think deeper about all the possible causes based on what you're telling him. But he has diagnostic tools like X-ray machines, blood tests that can help him. And these machines, in one way or the other, are artificial intelligence that help him and tell him what's wrong with you. MRI machine has artificial intelligence because based on what the MRI machine reads in the human body, it's trained to come up with certain answers and give certain results. Okay, let's go on. The other type of intelligence is what we call interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. Yes, Jocelyn, interpersonal intelligence is where it allows an individual to perceive the qualities of interacting with others. It is one of the most required types of intelligence because if you have good interpersonal intelligence or your people smart and able to communicate with people at the right level, you would be able to reach decision and consensus quicker, and you'd be able to effect decisions. It is one of the most required types of intelligence. Individuals are really good with people and are successful during social gatherings and interactions, usually have a high level of interpersonal intelligence. If you go to a party and somebody's standing alone in the corner because they're shy, that means their interpersonal intelligence level is lower, and your ability to mix with people and handle different people without knowing them is higher. So that is a level of intelligence that a computer doesn't have to worry about, because a computer will deal with any customer through its machine learning. Because it's learned how to solve a problem, it will just solve it. It doesn't have to bring in the personal element. Okay, one can expect this type of intelligence holder to be a leader and great communication with people. Understanding are two of the strongest skills. So if you're able to understand people by active listening, you will be better equipped to deal with daily tasks. If you can't understand what people say to you, you're never going to be able to achieve your task or deal with the problem. Okay, so this type of intelligence is critical. The next type of intelligence we're going to look at is what we call kinesthetic intelligence or body smart intelligence. This type of intelligence allows us to discern how to manipulate objects and use their physical skills in a skillful manner to do so. So if the girls are going out with their boyfriends, they usually have their hair hanging down nice and sexy, so they look cute. Kinesthetic intelligence. However, if they're at home doing their washing, they usually have their hair tied back. They don't care how they look like. It doesn't make any difference. But if you go to work and don't look professional and don't show what we call body smart intelligence in the way you behave and your body language, then you put your job in danger. A very simple example of it. There's a lot more to it. Okay, individuals enjoy moving their bodies, can build things, will stay active as long as they can. They are better learners when they are moving. So they're able to adapt to different situations wherever they go or based on the situation they're in. Now, computers don't have to worry about that because a computer is a machine. It can interact with everyone and anyone, no matter what they're wearing. Okay. All right, next one is what we call linguistic intelligence, word smart. If you don't know how to pronounce words or what words to use, you're unable to achieve a certain outcome. You're unable to do your job. You're unable to achieve your goals. All right? Let me give you a simple example. Let me give you a simple example. All right, let's go back and let's talk about something you do every day. Let's talk about something you do every day. What's something you do every day? Someone? Come on. What's something you do every day? Put up your hand. Yes, Mariam, can you switch on your camera? What's something you do every day?
Eating.
All right. So if you're unable to communicate what sort of food you want to eat or what you want to buy, are you going to be able to get that? No, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know what meat is or lamb is or beef is or chicken is, and you're not word smart to be able to tell people what you want, are you going to be able to achieve your goal? No, right? Very good. Excellent. Okay. Who else can give me an example of linguistic intelligence? Anyone else? Yes, go ahead, Harold. Are you there, Harold?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you. Give me an example of linguistic intelligence.
Yeah, I think that's I did every day, like because I'm currently working in a fitness gym and lifestyle.
Right. So
Like
give me an example of how linguistic intelligence would affect your daily job if you didn't know the right words. What would happen to your daily job or routine?
yeah, I did the daily routine. Like I'm doing different variations of exercise. I I'm teaching to all my customers. Like of course, I check the proper execution of exercise. I teaching to them this is the right exercise
All
for
right.
them.
So basically, if you did not know how to give them proper instructions, they might get injured. Would you agree with me?
Yes, definitely, sir. If of course, that's why I did everyday
Okay.
workout myself.
Okay.
That's why how to teach properly to all my clients. If this this way, I mean, of
Good.
course,
Excellent.
to
I got you.
avoid injury problems. Yeah.
Good on you. Thank you, Harold. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, different types of linguistic intelligence is needed in different scenarios. Go ahead, Sheena May. Yes, Sheena May, what would you like to add?
For me, the best example for the linguistic intelligence is you, Mr. Wally, because being a good speaker, you already know the how you're gonna get the attention of your audience, and you already have all the knowledge that you need to express, you need to explain to the students and to the people who are listening to you.
Thank you very much. You're a very good example, Sheena. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you shortly. Thank you, Sheena. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one more. Emily Cordova. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you again, Emily. Tell me, what are you going to share with me about linguistic intelligence? Emily, go ahead.
For me, sir, linguistic intelligence is, for example, is working in other nationalities.
Yes. Understanding
Yes,
how to
because
communicate with other nationalities. Is that right?
yes, because
Very
we
good.
need to understand them. We need to learn their language so that we can understand each other.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Okay. Let me ask you girls a question. What would happen, girls, if you couldn't communicate clearly when you go to buy shoes? If you couldn't communicate clearly about the shoes and how comfortable they are, you walk out with the wrong pair of shoes, and 2 days later, you have blisters and can't walk. So it's as simple as that. Unless you can practice the right words or linguistic intelligence, you have a problem. All right, let's go on. One moment, please. Okay, All right, so can everybody see my screen? Wave your hands to me, please. Come on. Good, excellent. Thank you, guys. Okay, all right, so let's go on, guys. We've covered linguistic intelligence. We're going to go on to interpersonal intelligence, which is self-smart, which enables individuals to be able to think logically, to think analytically, to think without emotions, and to be able to actually present themselves as someone who can be part of a conversation. This means that they are quite adept at communicating with his or her unconscious mind and with his or her conscious state and the people in front of them. And they are creating direction in their lives by being able to motivate themselves or others. Intrapersonal intelligence. Does a computer need this? Not really, because a computer is programmed through AI to deal with everything that comes to it. If it doesn't understand it, it just says, sorry, error, and it gives them the other options to choose. But with the human mind, you're not a computer. You need to be self-smart to be able to work yourself through each and every problem. Okay, the appropriate or the ability to appreciate appropriately not only yourself, but also other humans around you, and to be able to put yourself in a position where you can have a conversation, no matter where they are or who they are or what they are, is your ability of interpersonal intelligence. Okay, usually psychologists, psychiatrists, theologians, doctors, priests, they are very good at this type of intelligence because they're able to listen to all different people. For example, if you go to a doctor and describe that you're having chest pain, you describe it in a different way, but a doctor has to be able to understand it and try to develop your symptoms to stop you from dying from a heart attack. He has to understand the ways that different people communicate the same message. Then we come to spatial intelligence, being able to recognize pictures and images and what they are, to remember certain aspects or certain surroundings and actually use those or store those as part of your intelligence for you to be able to use them in dealings or in everyday life. Usually artists, architects, graphic designers, photographers, and even doctors learn from different things they see in different patients or in different places or different buildings and different designs on a daily basis. And they capture that and it becomes spatial intelligence, which they refer to in their mind next time they need to see a patient with similar symptoms or design a building with some of the ideas that they've seen previously. There are at least 9 types of intelligence, and we've gone through all 9 types today. Anyone, including artificial intelligence, can develop a sense of each. However, how important each type is different when it comes to the human brain and the artificial brain, but both need some of each. It's just to what degree they need them differs between the human and the artificial brain. The artificial brain needs more mathematical, logical, it needs more spatial, okay? But it also needs the other elements to support it in making decisions. What is artificial intelligence? Very simple. Artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, is made up of machine learning using sample data to train computer programs to recognize patterns based on algorithms and behaviors and pictures and voice and tone. Neural networks, computer systems designed to imitate the neurons of a human being and think like a human being, which is happening already. Natural language processing, the ability to understand speech as well as understand and analyze documents, and more effectively, what has made Amazon what they are today, robotics. machines that can assist people without actual human involvement, which are much cheaper. They never break down. They don't need to go on leave. They don't need to go to sleep. They don't need a lunch break. They just keep productive. Productivity goes on and on and on and on. And that's why when you order from Amazon, you order from Amazon at 8 o'clock tonight. By the time you wake up the next morning, artificial intelligence has got your payment, sent it to a warehouse. A robot has picked your goods. He has put them in a basket for a packer. The packer has packed your goods. The computer has put a barcode on your box. And artificial intelligence, together with robots, then move your box along a line, conveyor belt, to a basket where the courier that comes every few hours will pick it up. So the very high chances are that by the time you wake up in the morning, the order you placed with Amazon last night is already in a truck or on a jumbo jet, on a plane, on its way to your country. It's not only because people have handled it, it's because artificial intelligence through machine learning and robots handled your order within minutes of them receiving it. They did not need to wait for a human to come to work. Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that, Jessa? Jessa Arofo? Do you understand? Can you wave to me? Thank you. All right. So remember, we looked at the 9 definitions of intelligence for the human brain, and now we've summarized that down to 4 elements of the artificial brain. And all those 9 fit in to what we talk about when we say neural networks, being able to understand the human mind and what human intelligence needs. So, use of artificial intelligence today. Why do we use artificial intelligence? Why? Why? Well, let me tell you, artificial intelligence is not only used in factories. Artificial intelligence is used in everyday life. It's used every time you go somewhere. Whether the doctor sends you for an X-ray or an MRI, artificial intelligence reads what your bone image looks like. It actually helps to put that bone image on a film or on a computer image with explanations to the doctor about which bone is out of place, etc. That's what the latest X-ray machines, MRI, and all the different other types of ultrasound machines do in diagnosing patients. They have intelligence which saves the doctor from asking more questions and tells the doctor what to do or what the problem is so he knows how to solve that problem. Every day you wake up and you use your mobile phone, your iPhone, and you use Siri, you're dealing with artificial intelligence, a bot. Every time you go to a Korean hair salon and they take your picture, and on this computer screen, artificial intelligence suggests 10 new hairstyles for you. And then you say, I like that one. And the stylist says, okay, that one, that color. It's not because the stylist recommends it. It's because artificial intelligence in the software they use has been told about what face shape, what face size, what bone shape suits what hairstyles based on statistics of thousands of customers. You're able to use artificial intelligence to tell you what hairstyle might be suitable for you. Can you imagine if you didn't have artificial intelligence and you had to rely on a hairstylist that wasn't accurate and made you look like something you didn't want to look like? Artificial intelligence. All right, so the use of artificial intelligence today involves everything we do. But the biggest problem with artificial intelligence is it's taking over the role of human beings in everyday jobs. Can anybody give me an example of a job where artificial intelligence has taken away people's jobs? Who would like to give me an example? Come on, Nixon, you should be able to give me examples of this. How many jobs has artificial intelligence done away with? Are you there, Nixon? Tell me, Nixon, can you give me an example? Go ahead. Unmute your microphone, Nixon. How many jobs has artificial intelligence done away with?
If I can say, it's many.
Like, give me an
The
example.
one I can remember, the example is like a bartender. I went to Cameroon for a retreat where in a restaurant
Yes.
I was sitting and the machine have to come. You have to input the information in the machine. The machine
Right.
will go and bring the food for you.
It's not a waiter or waitress. It's done by robots. Is that right?
Like, yeah, so like artificial intelligence have replaced.
Right. And did you find
Yes.
that?
Yes.
And were you comfortable with that, or is it just that you had to adapt because there was no waitress, right?
Yes. So you have
Okay.
to adapt to it because there was no waitress. Yes. It's
All
true.
right. Thank you, Nixon. Now, Nixon just gave you an example. If you go to McDonald's today, McDonald's don't have cashiers. You have self-order. You go to this machine, you order yourself, you put your ATM card, you order, then a human presents you the order. You know, McDonald's today are testing robots. Eventually, robots will make your burger. Robots will serve you the burger, and you won't find people working at McDonald's, maybe one or two only. The world is being taken over by artificial intelligence and robots. Does everybody understand what I mean? Yes or no? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is if you don't wake up and start becoming eccentric and try to do your job better and perform at a higher rate of productivity to deliver better results to your employer in return for the salary your employer pays you, one day your job will be taken by artificial intelligence. Are you all aware of that? Wave your hands to me. Okay. All right. So what we'll do, let's go on and carry on a few more slides, and then I'll give you a 2 or 3 minute break if you want a coffee. All right. Is that okay? Let's go on. Okay. So basically, the use of artificial intelligence today is a staple of science fiction. Remember Frankenstein? Do you all remember Frankenstein, the character on TV, when he used to go into his mad scientist lab? Well, that was fiction. But that's what artificial intelligence and machine language is doing today. It's learning from people. It's so able to learn human behavior that it can now do what people had problems doing. And it does it without emotions. You know, AI is commonly used by billions of people every day, even they don't realize it. Every time you go to an airport and scan your passport, your information is processed by machine language to make sure you're not a criminal wanted on the FBI's Interpol red list. You've killed someone and on the run. Okay? They don't only go by your name. Your picture is put into a database at every airport, and machine language runs your picture against Interpol records. Machine language is everywhere. Every time an aircraft takes off, the computer in-flight system has machine language that overrides or guides the pilot when he makes the wrong decisions. Autopilot. Although, you know, people say there's no set definition, you must understand that artificial intelligence is the use of computers to copy or mimic human judgment. And that's what the autopilot in the aircraft management system or flight management system, FMS, does day after day on thousands of flights around the world. But people don't know that. People think the captain's flying the plane. You know that the captain only takes off and lands. But when you're on a 10-hour flight, the majority of the time, the very intelligent machine, the flight management system, the autopilot is flying for the captain. The captain's just sitting there watching a computer, making sure the lines are green all the time and that there's no issues. And where does he find out about the issues? From his dashboard, as Nixon said. He has a dashboard, and the dashboard flashes red when there's a problem for him to adjust the calculations based on what the computer tells him. Artificial intelligence. Okay, the term artificial intelligence is frequently applied to the project of developing systems endowed with the intellectual process characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason, discover meaning, generalize, or learn from past experience. And that's what artificial intelligence does in hospitals, on aeroplanes, in high-tech hairdressing salons. When Sheena goes in and the receptionist says, "Ma'am, would you like the computer to suggest a hairstyle?" So she asks Sheena to sit on this stool. She adjusts the height so she looks into the camera, and she takes a picture facing the camera and a picture at the side. And then the computer is able to detect the size and shape of Sheena's face, the type of skin complexion Sheena has, and the computer will throw up different options for Sheena to choose from. So basically, the computer is taking away the guesswork that the female stylist or receptionist had and giving Sheena more designs and more looks based on the different people that have a similar look to Sheena that have chosen that design. Because if Sheena chooses a design and the stylist hits OK, it will print out a picture for the stylist so she can take it with her and make sure she does the same style for you. So basically, this artificial machine language is recording information from every person who goes to that salon and putting it in a main database where all the salons who use this software can draw information, which gives Sheena a lot more choice than just one stylist who's probably only been working for 6 months, who doesn't know enough. Am I right, Sheena? Would you agree with me? Yes or no, Sheena? Okay, good, excellent. All right, and Sheena would be a lot happier with the recommendations of a computer than this old lady in a salon working. In actual fact, she'd be a lot happier with a young Korean guy, a very good-looking guy that would give her advice based on the computer than not having a computer, because the computer shows her more options that that Korean guy might not understand, just to simplify it for you. All right, everyone? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, good. All right, let's talk about AI, types of AI. Everybody, you need to memorize these. These are very important for you at work if your boss says AI. The first type of AI is what we call narrow artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence that can be built for very specific tasks, such as playing a game, keeping spam out of your inbox, helping you find a nearby restaurant with your smartphone, or even Google Map to drive a car. That is what we call narrow AI. Everybody understand that? Narrow AI. So let me give you an example. If Jessa went to Google and said to Google, is Wally a nice person? Would Google be able to answer that? No, because Google is built on a very narrow AI that it can only answer certain questions, because it may have 10,000 Wallies in its database. All right. So narrow AI is AI built for a specific purpose. General AI is basically got more resemblance to human capabilities. It's general artificial intelligence. It's more advanced and can involve visual and language processing. It tries to use what you're telling it to understand the context of your question. For example, if Sheena said to it, ask the computer, should I get blonde hair or red hair? The computer would understand hair, red is a color, and would answer Sheena accordingly. But if it was narrow AI, it wouldn't be able to do that unless the AI was specifically trained to answer that question. The ability to adapt to certain tasks, like Should I eat pork or fish? I'm on a diet. Doctor said low salt. So general AI would understand diet, low salt, the difference between pork, meat, and fish. It's more general. It would have more human, general artificial intelligence and more advanced ability to think like a human. Then we have artificial super AI. Artificial super AI. What do I mean by artificial super AI? Imagine a machine that's smarter than you, much smarter. Artificial super intelligence is still only a theory, but advances in nascent AI are raising interesting, troubling questions for the future of humanity. You recently heard about a company in the United States that is very big in AI with the US government that tried to fire its chief executive officer because they thought that his idea about super AI was stupid and they were going to lose money. But as soon as the American government and all the corporate clients heard about it, the board of directors was terminated, was fired, a new board of directors was appointed, and he came back to run the company because they realized that without his ideas of taking narrow AI or general AI to super AI, artificial intelligence would never be able to do what it can do. And please remember, artificial intelligence today is getting very close to super levels. Artificial intelligence can actually guide a space rocket to go to Mars. All right. Artificial intelligence can fly a 747 without a captain. Artificial intelligence can drive a car without a human. Self-drive cars. A computer drives the car. You simply tell it what your destination is. We're already moving to super AI. So let's look at different types of AI. First one is your chat box. At this point in time, everybody's used a chat box, right? Has everybody here know what a chat box is? Who knows what a chat box is? Does everybody know what a chat box is? Put your hand up. Come on, Nixon. Where are you, Nixon? Does everybody know what a chat box is? Okay, so a chat box is an automated type of artificial intelligence that's trained to answer your questions. Google has it. Amazon has it. YouTube has it. Zoom has it. When you go to ask them a question, they have an FAQ. You ask the question, the computer answers. It's a chat box. It's artificial intelligence. If you go to Amazon to query your order that hasn't been delivered, it's not a human that's answering you. It's a chat box. It's artificial intelligence. You ask a question, it asks you for your order number, etc. It searches the database and gives you an answer. That's a chat box, artificial intelligence. All right, so can anybody give me an example of dealing with a chat box? Who can tell me about communicating with a chat box? Come on, talk to me. Anyone? Talk to me. Anyone? Who has dealt with a chat box? You've all dealt with a chat box, right? Okay, let's talk to Amur. Amur Chai, give me an example of a chat box that you've dealt with.
Yeah, so like we discussed Amazon. For instance, you place in an order and then you have like a problem with the order.
Yes.
You will then communicate with the chat box that will behave like human because they are pre-programmed, and then any question you ask, yeah, they will answer those questions.
And if it can't answer your question, what does it do? What does it do?
Most often they will tell you sorry, or like they provide maybe a number or
for you to call, right? But before it does
yes,
that, it keeps asking you so many questions to try to understand what you want. Is that right? Or it gives you options, correct? I can't hear you, Amor. You've switched off your microphone. Go ahead. Open your microphone, Amor. Okay, thank you, Amor. Okay, it's okay. All right, I understand. Thank you. All right, let's go on. Yes, Flora, what are you going to add to Amor's answer? Go ahead, Flora.
You will encounter those chat box when you order online.
Yep.
And if you have problem for your orders, which is you can message them about the problem is, and then they will give you some questions that what is the problem is, like if maybe the tracking this and that. So they will give you a lot of options, and then you will just keep pressing what is it, and then they will ask you if whether it does help to you or not. If it's not, then you when you press not, then they will give you the message, which is I will get back, I will get to connect you to the customer service so that they can give you your answer for your problem is, or for
Very
the
good. Okay.
thing is.
So Flora, tell me, do you think the chat box is saving them money? Because can you imagine if they have to have humans answer 1,000 questions? Do you think the chat box
Yes.
is more efficient?
Yes, but the thing is sometimes they couldn't really give you the exact answer that what you need.
But
Although
it's,
they say, but yeah.
you're right, but the number of times that happens is a lot less than the other where,
Definitely.
okay. So what do you think that does for the company? It saves them money and it enables them to serve more customers. Would you agree with me?
Yes, yes.
Very
It
good.
saves a
Thank you,
lot of money.
Flora. Good on you, Flora. Excellent. Okay, let's go on. Yes, Roland, would you like to talk to me? Go ahead, Roland.
Yes, sir. The best example for the chat box is where we can find the FAQs, which stands for frequently asked questions.
And they're all run by chat boxes. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's all
And tell
run by
me,
the chat
do you
box.
think that is more efficient for a business than having 100 customer service people to answer calls? Is the chat box quicker?
Yes, sir. It's very efficient, and you can save manpower cost also.
And it works 24 hours a day, right? No rest,
Yes,
no
sir.
public
It works 24
holidays.
hours.
Very good.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know a funny thing that now certain airlines, when you call them to change your seat or change your flight, they try to get you to use a voice automated chat box, or they tell you to go online and do it. Okay. And you know that airlines have been able to do away with maybe 50 reservation staff, because instead of having 1,000 now, they only need 50% of that, because the chat box does everything else. Most airlines tell you to do it online through their online app or internet website that has a machine at the back that asks you the questions and makes the changes for you. All of these are types of chat boxes. Would you agree with me, or do you understand what I mean by that, Roland?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Roland.
Thank you so much, sir.
And you know, ladies and gentlemen, chat boxes can be efficient, but they can also be harmful. Because if you give the chat box the wrong mistake, or don't check the date you put in, you might go to the airport and find that you were supposed to fly yesterday. So using a chat box has its good points and has its bad points. It depends on the user, the customer. Are they IT friendly? Do they know how to use it? And that seems to be the shortfall today. And that's why companies are trying to educate their customers to use a mobile app, to use online services, so they learn how to deal through an automated chat box. All right, so let's go on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so chatbots are the first type. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the AI chat box can write blogs, posts, generate and debug complex code. It can weave vivid stories, give recipes, and answer almost questions that you would ask based on the data it has in it. And what this does, it gives the power to a chat GPT, a chat box, a lot of power to answer almost 95% of the questions that customers throw at it. Can you imagine how much money that saves a company? And the more questions that are posed as a chat box, the more scenarios it gets. The machine will then try to figure out answers to be able to answer different questions as they come up over time. So the machine is constantly learning. Then we have cars. Self-driven cars rely heavily on AI perception, decisions, making, and control using a combination of sensors and cameras. Telsa cars are a prime example of how AI is impacting daily life of people. Today, Telsa cars, you simply sit in the car, tell the program, you're taking me from my home to destination A. I must be there in 15 minutes. The onboard computer uses a satellite to find out the quickest way, and then you tell it to start and you sit there, you don't touch the steering wheel, and the onboard computer will take you to your destination. Why? It has sensors. It can sense traffic on the road. It can sense a red light. It has cameras that can see what's in front of it and behind it. Artificial intelligence. Now, Telsa has had to revisit self-drive because of the cost. Not many people can afford it. But let me tell you, I've used a self-drive car while I was traveling in Europe. I was lucky enough to actually go to visit a friend who had a four-wheel drive, self-drive, made by a company in China on his farm. And let me tell you, it was such a comfortable ride. I simply said, show me the farm. And this car took me around the farm, and the onboard computer explained to me where I was on the farm based on the decision-making intelligence in its machine and the cameras and sensors it had. The other form of artificial intelligence today is banking. Fully digitized with artificial intelligence. Today, we don't have to stand in a long queue to withdraw money or transfer it. We can go to a machine. In China, you can talk to the machine, and the machine doesn't need a card. It takes a picture of your face and you key in a password. Now, if you change your hair color or you change your hairstyle, you go from very long to very short, and you start wearing glasses, you go to the machine and the machine will not recognize you. It will say, sorry, your identity is not recognized. Then you have to go to the branch and they have to take a new picture so you can use your ATM account again. All right. But most people don't only use facial recognition. They also have an ATM card in case today they decide to change their hair color to make it easier for the computer to recognize them the next time they go to the machine. All right. So banking uses artificial intelligence. Self-driven cars use artificial intelligence. Digital assistants, for example, Siri in Apple is a chat box. She's an artificial brain. Siri is not a real woman. Does anybody think Siri is real? She's not. You can't ring Apple and say, I want to speak to Miss Siri. She doesn't exist. She's an electronic machine at Apple that's called Siri. Okay, does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands, come on. Then we have e-commerce. E-commerce has encountered a major overhaul over the past couple of years with the introduction of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, many transactions are done by e-commerce. You can pay for your Amazon through e-commerce. You can buy your airline ticket and pay through e-commerce. You can submit an online application for a passport by e-commerce. You can book an appointment with your stylist or your masseur or with your personal trainer or with the restaurant. Or you can actually, check if a nightclub is open via e-commerce. E-commerce is a major player. And as artificial intelligence gets smarter, e-commerce is saving companies money by processing things electronically. Does everybody understand that? Can everybody wave their hands to me, please? Great, excellent. All right. The next one is smart homes. AI enables the development of smart home systems that can automate tasks, control devices, and learn from user preferences. Smart homes, cities, and infrastructure. Smart thermostats learn from our behavior to save energy, reduce electricity bills. Okay, smart cities regulate traffic and control traffic lights. Artificial intelligence can actually recognize who you are to open your front door and say, good morning, Mr. Hesron. Good morning, Miss Brenda, welcome home. Or goodbye, Miss Brenda, enjoy your work today. artificial intelligence, smart homes. Fridges can talk. You can buy fridges today where you put your groceries and you simply ask the fridge, do I have Coca-Cola? Fridge will say yes. You have 2 cans left. You have televisions that you can command. TV on, TV channel 5, TV up volume, TV change the color, up the contrast. All of this is AI. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, AI on itself needs machine learning. Machine learning is the machine and how the computer learns to behave and administer artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a field of study in artificial intelligence concerned with the development and study of statistical algorithms that can learn from data and generalize to unseen data and thus perform tasks without you having to tell them what to do. Machine learning is defined as a discipline of artificial intelligence that provides the machine the ability to automatically learn from data and past experience. Like the example I gave about the hairdressing salon, collecting pictures of all women with long black hair and same shape, face and complexion to be able to recommend to a woman with the same face shape from a database pictures of a hairstyle that would suit her based not only on that stylist's experience, but based on a database in the machine which the software in the salon uses. All right, so how does machine language work? Machine language takes data from the data in the computer. It actually takes data and starts using that data to process through its algorithms. And then it uses that data to put it into different inputs or different scenarios, okay? Now, as those scenarios goes in, more customers sit in front of the camera with different shaped face, different length hair, and this machine starts recording more images, and then it comes up with more algorithm choices, and then it starts throwing out choices or predictions to the customer. It might say, based on your shape, based on your face, here are 20 different simulations. And then it would say to the customer, would you like more? Okay, the customer would say yes. So based on the prediction, the machine would look then for more accurate suggestions. And eventually the customer would pick one, which would be the successful choice. So the machine would record that customer's photo dimensions and then would record which picture they chose. So it uses as that data the next time with a similar facial dimension sits in front of that camera. That's a very simple example. Does everybody understand that? Could you wave to me, please? Come on, everyone, wave. Okay, good. So machine learning is all about algorithms that can be trained in many ways. It's like training Lizelle when she was a baby how to walk. It's like training a baby how to go to the toilet on their own. Okay, it's basically a machine learning how to do what the human does. And it's how to actually make artificial intelligence more efficient. Based on these methods and ways of learning, machine learning can be broken down into 4 main types. And let's look at what those are. They are what we call supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, which happens every day, semi-supervised machine learning, and the machine goes through reinforcement learning. The same with you. When you started walking, you fell down, and mummy had to reinforce your learning by teaching you how to walk without falling down. Supervised machine learning is a type of machine language that involves supervision, where machines are trained on labeled databases and able to predict outputs by programmers. The labeled data set specifies certain conditions and certain parameters and tells them what they should do with them. A device is made to predict the outcome using the data that it has been given through supervised learning, supervised machine learning. Example, consider an input data set of parrot and crow images, a parrot and a crow. Initially, the machine is trained to understand the pictures, including the parrot and the crow's color, the eyes, the shape, and the size. Post-training, an input picture of a parrot is provided, and the machine is expected to identify the object and predict the output. Now that the machine has been trained by supervised machine learning, the trained machine checks for various features of the object based on the data that was given to it through supervised learning. It looks at eye, shape, color to make sure that those eye shapes and color relate to a crow or a parrot. And it can make a prediction, which usually is about 99.99% correct. The primary objective of supervised learning technique is to map the input with output valuable and through supervised input by giving it supervised information to make sure it doesn't make the wrong decisions. And how do we do this? It's by using different classifications when giving it data and by using different forms of regression in the data we give it. What do we mean by regression? It's problems and how the problems occur and how the problems should be solved. Examples include weather predictions, market trend analysis. How do you think aeroplanes get weather forecasts? They do it based on data given to them by a satellite from a Bureau of Meteorology, depending on where they are in the world. And they depend on the sensors that the aircraft has to measure the temperature outside and how much, how much heat, what the level of moisture is in the air, how fast the wind is blowing. Aircrafts have sensors, little pointers on one side of the cockpit, and they are trained to read data using algorithms and report to the flight management system. Popular regression algorithms include simple linear regression algorithms using what we call tree algorithms, and lasso regression, which are types of computer forms of how to actually analyze data. As long as you know that algorithms are involved, that's all you need to know. I just want you to know what machine learning is. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Good. The second type of learning is unsupervised machine learning. This refers to learning technique that's devoid of supervision. Here, the machine is trained using an unlabeled data set and is enabled to predict and just collect data at random and put that data in the correct data set to make decisions based on patterns. Unsupervised machine learning is further classified into two types. Clustering is by using a form of grouping objects into clusters based on different parameters, such as similar words, similar numbers, similar conditions. For example, grouping customers by the product they buy, by their nationality, by the country they come from, by the size t-shirt they wear, or by the colors they buy. Okay, let's go on. The other one is by association. Learning refers to identifying typical relations by associating certain words with previous data and using that to come to decisions. And then we have what we call the popular algorithm. Obeying association rules include what we call in algorithmic language, a priori algorithm, ECLAT algorithm, and FP growth algorithm. Now, all of these are computer terms used by the machine. As long as you're aware of them, You don't have to remember them. This is just to give you some understanding of what machine learning is about. Number three, sorry, is supervised. Sorry, we've looked so far at supervised machine learning. We've looked at unsupervised machine learning, and now we're going to look at semi-supervised machine learning. And this comprises of characteristics of both supervised and unsupervised machine learning. So it puts them both together and uses a combination of labeled and unlabeled data sets to train its algorithm using both types of data sets. For example, a college student. You've all been college students. A student learning a concept under a teacher's supervision in college is termed as supervised learning. In unsupervised learning, a student self-learns the same concept at home without the teacher's guidance. Meanwhile, a student revising a concept after learning under the direction of teacher in college and asking the teacher to explain again is what we call semi-supervised learning. Does everybody understand that simple example? Yes or no? Wave your hands, everyone. Come on. Wave your hands, everyone. Good. And last but not least is what we call reinforced learning. Reinforcement learning is a feedback-based process. Here, the AI component automatically takes stocks of its surrounding or the pictures that different ladies are choosing when they choose their hairstyle, if we use that experiment, okay? And it basically records the results based on hit and trial method as to what it suggested to a certain lady with a certain facial measurement and which one he or she chose, male or female. This component is rewarded for each good action and penalized. Now, if the system says, I showed 10 pictures, but she chose none of them, that would be a penalty. So they have to reconfigure the data they show. If the lady chose one of them, that would be a correct answer. Okay, so thus the reinforcement learning component would go back and adjust the answers it's giving to make sure that the next time it gives better suited answers. Unlike supervised learning, reinforcement learning lacks labeled data, and the agents learn via experiences of what the machine has experienced from previous transactions. Consider video games. Here, the game specifies the environment and each move of the game. Reinforcement agent defines its state and tells you whether you can win the game or you've lost points or got points. Now, as the machine or the game learns from you, the machine assimilates and rewards you with a high score or a lower score. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Nixon? All right, reinforcement learning is applied across different fields as game theory, information theory, multi-agent systems. And it's divided into different methods. One is positive reinforcement and the other one is negative reinforcement, as I just told you. Positive reinforcement refers to adding a reinforcing stimulus. That means somebody has been successful based on the results or the game they played by adding a reward or giving a reward for that behavior. Negative reinforcement is where they failed because they couldn't play the game properly, or the machine learns from the mistakes they made, or the machine learns from the mistakes it suggested. Let's talk about some very, 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 very special industries that use machine learning. The first one is the healthcare industry. Every day you deal with it. Machine learning is being increasingly adapted in hospitals. Credit to wearable devices like heartbeat monitors, blood pressure devices, or machines such as MRI, machines which costs millions of dollars. Moreover, technology is helping medical doctors in analyzing trends or flagging events that may help in better treating that patient through MRI diagnosis or through measuring the customer's heartbeat. All right, all of these things can extend the lifespan of a patient, because without this technology, the doctor may never know what's happening inside the patient. CT scans, MRI scans, EKGs, all of these are machine learning scans that teach the doctors what they see inside and what the problem is. Let's look at this video, all right? So what I want you to do now is I'm going to share the video with you, and I want everyone to listen to the video. Here we go. Okay, everyone, here we go.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is taking the world by storm, and its impact will be felt in all corners of society, including medicine. Here are 4 ways AI is transforming the medical field. Dr. Jubal, MedSchoolInsiders.com. The first way AI is changing medicine is by assisting with diagnosing and treating patients. Misdiagnosing a disease happens relatively infrequently, but it can occur due to factors such as physician fatigue, errors in diagnostic modalities, or limited resources in underprivileged areas. While the idea of AI taking over disease diagnosis may sound alarming, we should view it as a supportive tool for physicians. For example, the convolutional neural network, or CNN, is a diagnostic modality that can analyze thousands of images from public datasets and patient medical records to identify patterns, enabling them to quickly and accurately diagnose diseases. Researchers recently used CNNs to diagnose Kawasaki disease, or KD, an inflammatory disease of the blood vessels in children that can prove fatal if left untreated. A diagnostic hurdle with KD is that symptoms are usually vague and can overlap with other childhood illnesses. To reduce the rate of misdiagnosis, researchers compiled images from KD patients from all over the world, building a CNN that can identify its common signs. The CNN proved both sensitive and specific for diagnosing Kawasaki disease, making diagnosis possible by merely taking a photo with a smartphone. Of course, clinical judgment currently remains irreplaceable, and physicians should still rely on a thorough history, physical exam, and the relevant labs or imaging. These CNNs can help guide physicians in the right direction, especially in resource-restricted locales where it can be expensive for patients to do more thorough testing. Preliminary efforts have also demonstrated AI can aid clinicians in diagnosing colorectal cancer, lung cancer, liver cirrhosis, and many more diseases. In one study, board-certified pathologists diagnosed colorectal cancer with 96.9% accuracy, and AI slightly outperformed them, reaching an accurate diagnosis 98% of the time. However, doctors shouldn't forget about the limitations of AI in diagnosing disease. Biases can exist in any of the datasets, which can influence the way AI interprets the diagnosis. For example, if a dataset is mostly made up of older patients, AI might not be able to accurately interpret findings for a younger age group. After diagnosis, AI can also aid physicians in treatment, particularly in the era of personalized medicine. Personalized medicine is a form of medicine that uses information about a person's genetics to prevent, diagnose, or treat disease. One specific example of this is rheumatoid arthritis, an autoimmune disease where the body attacks itself, especially in joints like the wrist and finger joints. Since rheumatoid arthritis is such a complex and chronic disease, there are a variety of medications used to treat patients, and treatment often depends on what each patient best responds to. Researchers at Mayo Clinic use genetic data and patients' clinical characteristics to develop a machine learning algorithm to predict patient response to methotrexate, one of the most important rheumatoid arthritis drugs. Instead of having both doctors and patients wait months to determine the efficacy of a certain drug, these models can direct both doctors and patients toward more effective treatments immediately, saving the patient both time and money. Similarly, researchers at the Georgia Institute of Technology and Ovarian Cancer Institute utilized machine learning algorithms to determine treatment effectiveness with 90% accuracy for certain chemotherapies in ovarian cancer patients. Utilizing AI to predict a patient's response to chemotherapy can save valuable time and spare patients from the destructive physical side effects, emotional burden, and costs associated with weeks of treatment that may prove ineffective. Beyond diagnosis and treatment, AI has powerful potential in predicting the occurrence and progression of chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, diabetes and kidney disease, which can help patients live longer, healthier lives. Let's take a closer look at diabetes. Using various machine learning models, researchers are developing predictive models to estimate a patient's current glucose level based on multiple factors, such as their previous glucose levels, body mass index, external stress, and even hours of sleep. This can help patients anticipate when their blood sugar levels are critically high or low, enabling them to better prepare for emergencies. Researchers have also used AI to develop models that predict the likelihood of developing diabetes based on various risk factors. Early diagnosis and treatment of diabetes can prevent complications like diabetic kidney disease and blindness, which are emotionally distressing and costly for both patients and the healthcare system. In addition to patient care, AI is also furthering medicine by transforming the way medical research is conducted, particularly in clinical trials. Clinical trials study different interventions in patients, usually in the form of new vaccines or medications, to determine which treatment is more effective in clinical practice. One of the first steps is identifying eligible patients, which is both time and resource consuming since researchers must design and print brochures and manually screen clinics for eligible patients. With access to medical records, AI can quickly identify which patients fit the right criteria to streamline the.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Hold on.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is taking data points to provide drugs. However, despite extensive lab testing, the discovery process since researchers must design and print brochures and manually screen clinics for eligible patients. With access to medical records, AI can quickly identify which patients fit the right criteria to streamline the process. In addition, AI has already proven effective in the development of new treatments. The first step in certain clinical research is discovering possible drugs. However, despite extensive lab testing, the discovery process can result in a waste of valuable time and resources. Many drugs that are effective in a lab fail in human trials. Verge Genomics was one of the first companies that discovered a potential drug for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, by using AI instead of animal or cell testing. Instead of cell or animal data, they used AI to analyze human data points to provide researchers with more accurate representations of effective treatments in humans. This avoided the risk of drug failure when translating animal studies to human trials. If you've experimented with ChatGPT, you've experienced AI's writing capabilities firsthand. While these AI writing tools are far from perfect, they can significantly reduce the time needed to prepare and revise manuscripts. ChatGPT has been used in scientific research and has even been credited as a co-author on multiple papers. However, it's not without its limitations, including the hard-to-ignore fact that it can reference incorrect data and create fake citations. Other software, such as Consensus, can be used to guide your initial literature review and provide summaries for papers that answer your research question. Don't expect these tools to take over your academic writing just yet. However, they can catch grammatical errors, brainstorm ideas, and collect and synthesize data. We dug into the possibilities and drawbacks of using AI writing tools in another video on the future of medical school applications. If you think you can exclusively rely on ChatGPT for your medical school or residency applications, think again. The third way AI is improving medicine is by streamlining administrative tasks in healthcare. For example, BotMD is a company with an AI service that assists patients with clinical issues like finding physicians on call, scheduling appointments, or answering prescription-related questions such as the availability of certain medications or their alternatives. Allowing AI to take over these tasks can free administrative staff to focus on other obligations. AI can also simplify medical scribing since physicians don't have to take their own notes or employ medical scribes. As opposed to human scribes who are subject to human error, AI works instantly and immediately understands medical terminology. AI technology can pre-authorize insurance and optimize billing for physicians since billing is reliant on accurate, consistent documentation. Reducing the burden of these tasks can help prevent physician burnout, a significant problem that leads to psychological distress for doctors and worse outcomes for patients. Lastly, AI is quickly being integrated into medical education at all levels of training. For example, Oscar, an Australian medical education company, allows medical students to practice their history-taking skills on AI patients. Using this tool, students can learn to ask the proper questions and consider various diagnoses for any specific presentation. Integrating AI more thoroughly into formal medical curricula can prepare future physicians for AI's increasing role in healthcare. Some universities, like Duke and Stanford, have already introduced courses to help medical students and residents learn to use AI to solve healthcare issues. The Mayo Clinic and Stanford offer courses that teach physicians how AI is currently influencing medicine, as well as how they can use it to their advantage in their practice. AI is even influencing the medical school application process, which we made a separate video about, link in the description. AI has huge potential to revolutionize many different facets of medicine, but with any change, we should be cognizant of any drawbacks or possible biases we could be introducing. AI, after all, is designed and programmed by humans, so it's susceptible to the same biases we are.
Okay, all right. So let's go on, guys. Let's go to the next part of the video. All right, let's go on to the next part of the lesson. Did everybody see that video? Do you see the different advantages that artificial intelligence brings to healthcare? Did everybody see that? Yes or no? Great. So let me go on. Artificial intelligence is not only helping the healthcare industry, it helps the banking industry, it helps the retail industry. The retail industry, where you go to buy things online, has machines at the back, like Amazon, machines at the back that control what you find on the Amazon when you go shopping. Machines at the back, machine learning and artificial intelligence that process your order. All of this is done by machine learning. Retail, e-commerce, travel industry. You can book your flights online. Machine learning can tell you what flight can take you from Japan to Australia. You go into Japan Airlines and you want to say you want to fly from Tokyo to Singapore to Australia, and the machine will then tell you, you can take GEL 001 Tokyo, Singapore, and connect with GEL 007 2 days later to Australia. All of this is done through machine learning. The other one is social media. As we said before, every time you communicate with Google or you search something on Google's website through Google, the platform, a machine at the back is the one that's suggesting you the right answer. All right, so if we go on with today's lesson and we share my screen again. One moment, please. Okay, so if I go on with today's lesson, guys, just one moment. Why is this happening? Just give me a minute, would you? Okay, just let me get this right and let me share my screen. Hold on. Okay, this is the one. Okay, guys, okay, let's go on. So other applications, as we said, are the finance sector, the banks, data mining. Financial organizations use the bank to learn and tackle fraudulent activity, control transactions and monitor fraud. People trying to use your credit card with a transaction which is not similar to your previous transactions. Or for example, if you make a transaction in Manila now and somebody tries to fraudulently use your card in Israel 5 minutes later, the bank's machine learning would stop that or should stop that. Okay, for example, Citibank has partnered with fraud detection company FedZai to handle online and in-person banking fraud through computer machine learning detection. PayPal uses several machine learning tools to differentiate between legitimate and fraudulent transactions between buyers and sellers through taking certain data and behaviors during the purchase to be able to tell whether it's fraudulent or not. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've done today is basically a hope that you understand the basics of artificial intelligence and machine language. I don't want you to become experts, because to become experts, you need to go back to university, as Nixon will tell you, and study IT for years. This is basically to give you a simple academic understanding of what artificial intelligence and machine learning means today. Does everybody understand what we learned today? Can you wave your hands? Okay. Is everybody now understand the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? Yes? Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions from me about anything that you've learned today? Please, I enjoy questions. Go ahead. Please switch on your cameras if you want your attendance recorded. If your cameras are switched on, all of those of you with your cameras off, you may not get a certificate. So you better switch on your cameras now so your attendance can be recorded. On the count of 3, if you want a certificate and you want to make sure you get a certificate, on your camera now. 1, 2, 3. On your cameras. Okay, does everybody understand? Does anybody want to ask me any questions, guys? Come on, cheer up. Anybody? Okay, let's start with Rachel. Rachel, Abella, go ahead. What's your question? Are you there, Rachel? Hi, Rachel. What's your question? Hello, Rachel. Can you unmute your microphone, Rachel? Okay. Yes, go ahead. I can't hear you, Rachel. You need to fix your microphone. Does anybody else want to ask me any questions? Come on, guys. Help me out. Ask me some questions. Roy, Zonio, do you have any questions for me, Roy? Okay, thank you. What about you, Gina Rose? Do you have any questions? Okay. What about you, Riddell? Do you have any questions? Okay. Yes or no? No? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, has everybody enjoyed my Biz Talk today? If you've enjoyed it and you want me back, wave your hands to me. Come on. Only 10 of you. Come on. Does anybody else want Wally back? Keep waving your hands. Show me that you want me back. Please tell your fellow students. Wally wants to see them at Biz Talk. I want each of you to make sure that you bring one of your fellow students with you to the next Biz Talk. Okay? Find a student that's studying with you at Kingston and tell them, you know, I'm learning. I get an extra certificate to put on my resume. Why don't you join me for Wally's next Biz Talk? Can everybody do that for me? Wave your hands. Come on. Nixon, are you going to help me with that or not, mate? Are you there, Nixon? I think Nixon has lost his connection. It's okay. So everybody, thank you for joining me for Biz Talk 91. On behalf of myself and my co-host, Mr. Govind, thank you for joining us, all 165 of you. I look forward to seeing you all at the next Biz Talk. From me and my co-host, Govind, goodbye, everyone. Have a great afternoon. God bless you all. See you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Take care, everyone. Take care, Jennifer. Take care, Nixon. Take care, Ronaldin. Take care, Sheena. Take care, Rizal. Take care, Christina. Have a great afternoon, Mariam. Thank you, Linolin. Thank you, Janilin. Thank you, Ruby Allen. Who else have we got? Where are we? Thank you, Riddell. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Hesron. Thank you, Bolobek. Thank you, sir. It's nice seeing you again. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for attending Biz Talk. I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you, Bolotebek. I look forward to seeing you. Wave to me, Bolotebek. Good to see you. See you later, Afungwi. I wish to see you at the next session, Afungwi. Wave to me, Afungwi. Dennis, goodbye, Dennis. See you again, Dennis. All right, but goodbye, everyone. God bless you all. See you later, Riddell. Good night, Riddell. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Govind. Good